Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to Bonus Bias, the show where I don't talk. Oh, okay. I don't talk about blades. I talk about whatever the hell I want. Today's video is on these, the Raptgo Hook X. And quick disclaimer before we begin, for all you audio people out there, this isn't a review. I'm still learning audio. I'm not like the most knowledgeable person in the world. If you're looking for actual opinions, go somewhere else, because I'm just talking about these because I like talking about things that I find cool. Cool? Cool. Let's get into them. These are the Raptgo Hook X, a dual driver setup featuring planar and piezoelectric drivers. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. To make a very interesting dual brid, I guess. Or hybrid. What am I? Holy cow. A hybrid IEM. And these things are super, super sick. So I purchased these. These were an impulse purchase on the secondhand market. These have been discontinued for a while now, but I've wanted to try a pair for a few reasons specifically. One, because they claim to have this bone conduction driver you can see on the box here, which I'll get into that a little later. I'm not really sure if that even exists. But they're also semi-open back, and we will get into what that means a little bit later as well. But they've been discontinued, and I haven't been able to find them at a price that I was willing to pay until just recently. I found a guy selling them. They were in really good condition. He had barely used any of the accessories. I was like, sick, let's go. So I impulse purchased them. I thought I was done buying IEMs, except for the Dusks. I am interested in the Moondrop Dusks. But I thought I was done. I've got my Timeless. I've got my Blessings. All IEMs that I really, really enjoy. And apparently that wasn't true, because I picked these things up and I kind of regretted it for a little bit because I was worried. Considering they're planar, and people always compare them to these, the Timeless, I figured it would be like my Hexas. I got Hexas a few months back, and I just wanted to try out how they sound. They sounded great for $70, but the reality was they were very similar to my Blessings, but not as good. So I kind of never really used them, because if I was going to use the Hexas, why wouldn't I just use the Blessings? The Blessings were the step up from the Hexas. So I ended up selling them, and I was kind of thinking that it was going to be the same with these. Thankfully, it wasn't, because these things make themselves unique in many different ways. I'll give you a quick little tour. First of all, we got this beautiful green with this perforated back of the shell. That's the open back design. It's got a little chin cinch here, and the cable is actually fabric, which I didn't think I was going to like, but I think this is one of my more favorite cables in my collection. Certainly better than the bullshit that the Blessing 3s come with. This is a secondhand market cable that I bought. But this cable actually has a really cool party trick. The termination is changeable, swappable even, if you will. So normally like every phone back in the day had a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, but there's also a smaller one at 2.5 millimeters, and there's also a bigger one at 4.4 millimeters. So you can just switch this at will, which is pretty cool. It's kind of a party trick for me, since the only other source that I have is the 2.5 millimeter on my Qdelix, which provides a higher power and does make these louder, which is cool. But the durability of it, and considering that this is my portable audio setup, makes me not really want to use it that often. So I just stick with 3.5 millimeter, because the volume difference that you get, they're already loud enough. Like they're not. I don't need any more volume on these. I already use them at a lower volume than most people probably would. So not really something for me, just ends up being a party trick for me, but still a really cool thing to have maybe in the future when I get different sources to use with my IEMs. Now, as for the sound themselves, they're really fun. When I opened these things and put them in, I was having a blast. I didn't actually take them out of my ears for like 8 hours. I was just sitting on my bed. I had stuff to do. I had work to do. I was just sitting on my bed listening to music. It was great. So much so that I was looking for new music to try, and Taylor Swift had just released her new album. So I posted on my story on Instagram. I was like, would you guys want to see me review this album, like kind of as a joke? Because I had reposted like a meme that someone had posted of the lyrics from one of the songs on the album, which was just atrocious. So I was like, I'm going to be fair, and I'm going to listen to the album before I judge it too harshly. Unfortunately, the album sucked. I don't remember a single thing about it. I would remember the taste of cardboard before I remember a single thing about that album. And quite frankly, it was a waste of an hour of my life. But these things, I was enjoying them so much that they made me want to go out and listen to new stuff. So I listened to Taylor Swift. I probably could have picked anyone else better. And to be clear, I'm not a Taylor hater. I just think the album freaking sucked. I'm very neutral on popular music creators like that. But yeah, they sound really fun. So to give you kind of an idea of what they sound like, they're a more bassy, more laid back version of the Timeless. And I say version of the Timeless, I don't think they're like very similar to the Timeless at all. The Timeless feel more noticeably like bitey and robotic, maybe even metallic, not by much, but just a little, where treble and voices will sound a little bit more sharp than these things. They're a little more laid back, and initially I was scared of that because my blessings really made me realize that I really like treble, more than I thought I did. So whenever I hear laid back, I think, oh, not a lot of treble, which kind of puts me off, and it's not really something that I'm interested in. But trying these, it's not that they have less treble, it's just that the treble is less sharp, and I really, really enjoy that. There's a song I use on my test playlist, which if you're interested in hearing about my music taste and maybe the songs that I use to test new audio gear that I get, let me know. Maybe I'll do a bonus bias on that. But Resonance Midwest Emo version, kind of a meme song, but also kind of a sick song that I really enjoy listening to. And the guitar on it is very, very bitey. It's almost to the point of sibilant, those T's and S's that kind of sound sharp to your ears. The song almost sounds sibilant, especially on my blessings. So I know that if this song sounds bad, that I can't listen to it at least once, then they're just too energetic for me. Too much treble, too much sharpness. I'm not going to be able to get through it. These are the most reasonable that song has ever felt. These are close to sibilant. These are a little less sibilant, but they're still there. Like, they still get there. These are the best that song has ever sounded, the guitar specifically. So laid back, the treble is still there. It's not like it's recessed. It's just less sharp, and I really, really enjoy that. Also, these things rock with bass. Oh my gosh. And I don't know if it's this bone conduction driver that they mention. It's weird because the alternate version they released of these, sometimes IM makers will work with audio reviewers to make like a new version that's retuned. And that's what they did for these. They released the Hook X HBB version, which are like blue and they have a different tuning. And with that model, I don't think they changed the driver layout, but they dropped the bone conduction from their marketing. So it makes me wonder if this is even bone conduction, but at the same time, I don't know if the bone conduction is in the bass or in the treble or what the driver is doing. I haven't found any like good solid information on that. Regardless though, the bass is amazing on these. It is so powerful and it's so punchy and the dynamics are so good. Like, you can feel the slam when someone hits a bass drum or strums a bass or kicks a kick drum or something like that. It's so good, and the amount of bass is incredible. There are some songs where it's just like, it's like rumbling on your ear, but it doesn't wash out the rest of the song. The bass is powerful, it is present, but it doesn't overpower the rest of the song, which is really, really nice. I would say that the Timeless are more balanced. Like, the treble is definitely, it all around just feels more neutral, but these things have a sub bass that is just really nice, and their mid bass is really nice too. This song that I use is L'Appel du Vide. I don't know how to actually pronounce that, but the beginning, like 20 seconds, is just all sub bass that you can't even like hear. If you listen to this song on speakers, it'll kind of rattle your room because those sound waves are so low you can't hear them, but they're still sound waves. They're still affecting things. And you really feel that intro on these things, which is why I think the bone conduction might be working, but at the same time it could just have a lot of sub bass that's deep and whatever. But I don't know, like, I really like my bass and I really like these things. Not overpowering. They still like let everything in. It's really nice. Speaking of letting everything in, the soundstage, because of the open back design, I think is sufficiently wide. I really can't tell, I'll be honest. It feels like placebo because sometimes it feels really wide and really open, and sometimes it just feels like a normal IEM. I would never say it's below average. I would always say it's like average to above average. But I also don't have a lot of experience in that sense. Sometimes my blessings sound just as wide. Sometimes these sound way wider. Sometimes when I put a hoodie on and I put the hood up, they sound wider than anything I've ever heard. It's so strange. An open back, in case you're wondering, is exactly what it sounds like. The back of the headphone is open, which means that sound not only comes in, but sound leaks out. And I was really interested in that because when I stream, you don't want to have IEMs in because you plug your ears and it sounds weird. So I was really hoping that these would let out enough of that pressure to make it not sound weird when I'm streaming. And they do, but they're not as open backed as I think I was hoping. Like, they definitely still have a passive isolation to them. Sounds are definitely quieter, but they let in more sounds than something like the Timeless or especially the Blessing. The Blessing's like an earplug. If you're in a loud area, the sound's going to come in. Even talking to people, sometimes you can still have conversations with them in, as long as you're not playing music. If you're playing music, it'll kind of overpower it. But yeah, I can't really tell if the soundstage is wider because of them, but whatever. They sound wider sometimes, and they let out enough of the sound trapped inside my head when I'm talking to make it a little more enjoyable to talk with them in. So they'll probably be my main streaming IEMs. But the biggest problem I've noticed with them is just that they get so busy. Like, they definitely get lost in a very busy mix. I've noticed specifically when I'm playing video games and playing music in the background, everything just kind of mushes together. The video game goes in with the music, and it just doesn't sound the best. My blessings, my timeless, even my 99 noirs do much better at separating everything out, so I can hear everything that's going on. But it's not a huge deal. Ultimately, these things are super fun. They're different enough from my timeless, with them being more laid back and more bassy, that I still enjoy using both of these. If I want something more balanced, I'll go to my timeless or my blessings. If I want something really punchy, really energetic, really fun, go to these. It's super sick. I really like them. The cable is nice. The build is nice. I got them for a really good price secondhand. I enjoy them. So yeah, I think they're going to stay in my collection for now. I don't really see myself... I did see myself reselling them before I bought them, but I don't think I'm going to resell them at this point. I'm just having too much fun with them. Even if they aren't terribly different from the timeless and I'm just making all this up in my head, because, A/B testing annoys the shit out of me. I just want to listen to music, man. I just want a few different headphones for different sound signatures, and I just want to listen to music. A/B, I'm not knowledgeable enough to know what I'm listening for, but at the same time, not knowing that, when I understand everything that I do about ballad songs, not having that same understanding when it comes to something that I love equally, which is IEMs, annoys the crap out of me. So I still A/B test to try and learn, but it's still... I would rather just listen to the music than A/B test audio gear. And then I'm always worried it's going to ruin something or something's going to sound weird, and then I don't want to sell stuff. These things are still fun enough that I pop them in alongside the other two that I own. So yeah, overall a win. Thank you all for watching. This video was way longer than I thought because I had way more to say about these things than I thought I did. So sorry about that, but if you made it through, hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you guys all later. See ya.